Recording in progress.
Hi guys, good evening to all. All are you getting my screen and voice? Please confirm. All of you getting my screen and voice? Please confirm in chat box. Good. Right guys, as part of today's session, I'm going to start Linux operating system. Linux operating system I'm going to start in today's session. Today I will give the clarity about where we will use the Linux operating system in the companies. Generally in the companies, so we will use this Linux operating system only. In the companies, we will use Linux operating system only. Right, coming to our personal computers, laptops, desktops, mobiles, everywhere we will use Windows operating systems. But coming to application deployments, right, we will use Linux operating system. Today I will give the clarity exactly where we will use this Linux operating system in the companies. First, try to understand what is operating system. Before discussing about this Linux operating system, just try to understand what is operating system. What is operating system? Guys, I'm going to give the clear clarity where we will use this Linux operating system in the companies. In the companies, we won't use Windows operating system. We will use Linux operating system only. Where we will use this Linux operating system, I'm going to give the clear clarity. Before understanding this Linux operating system, first try to understand what is operating system. Guys, please respond in chat box. What is operating system? What is operating system? So we are using laptops, desktops, mobiles. All these are the different devices. In all these devices, we have some operating systems. If you go for desktop, you have some operating system. If you go for laptop, you have some operating system. If you go for mobiles also, we have some operating system. Then only we can able to use those devices. Without operating systems, we can't able to use our desktops, laptops and mobiles. Daily we are using mobiles. Even if you want to use mobiles, you should have some operating system in those mobiles. Then only you can able to use those mobiles. Otherwise you can't able to use. Suppose, see now we are conducting the classes in laptop. I'm using laptop to give the classes. Right here in my laptop also I have some operating system. If I don't have the operating system, I can't able to use my laptop. Right, same way desktop. Even in desktop also, if you don't have the operating system, you can't able to use that. If you want to use the computer, compulsory you should have some operating system in that computer. Then only you can able to use. What is operating system, guys? Operating system is nothing but a software, guys. Operating system is nothing but a software. We will use that operating system to communicate with the computer, to interact with the computer. If you want interact with the computer, some operating system must be required in that. Guys, see here, I have mouse, I have keyboard. Right, so I have CPU, I have RAM, I have hard disk. All these are what, guys? Hardware devices, hardware resources. If you want to use these hardware resources, compulsory you should have some operating system. Then only you can able to access these hardware resources. If you don't have the hardware resource, you can't able to access these hardware resources, guys. If you want perform any activity in the computer, some RAM must be required. How you can able to use that RAM? Some operating system must be required. Without having that operating system, you can't able to use the RAM, guys. See, I purchased brand new laptop, guys. I purchased a brand new laptop, right? I didn't install anything in that. I didn't install any software in that. Only hardware resources are available. Now I want to work with MS Office in that laptop. Is it possible, guys? Is it possible? I don't have anything in my laptop. Just hardware resources are available. Now I want to work with MS Office. I want to install MS Office in my laptop. Is it possible or not? Is it possible to install MS Office in my laptop or not? We can't able to install. If you want install MS Office in your laptop, first you should have the operating system. Then only you can able to install MS Office. If you don't have the operating system, you can't able to use that computer. We can say operating system is going to work like a mediator between the user and the computer. Can I say like that? Operating system is going to act as a mediator between user and computer hardware resources. Hardware resources are nothing but what? RAM, keyboard, mouse, hard disk, CPU. All these are the hardware resources. If any user wants to access these hardware resources, in between one operating system must be required. That's why we can say operating system is going to work as a mediator between the user and computer hardware resources. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear what is operating system? Operating system is mandatory to use any computer, guys. Without having operating system, we can't able to use any computer. Is this clear? What is operating system? Is it clear? Please respond in chat box. Operating system is a software. Operating system is a software. Right, we will use this operating system. We will use this operating system to communicate with computer, to interact with computer. Right? Operating system is going to act as a mediator between user and computer hardware resources. Guys, please read these three statements. What is operating system? Operating system is a software. We will use this operating system to communicate with the computer. Operating system is going to act as a mediator between user and computer hardware resources. Guys, please read these three statements. Guys, Linux is very important for our DevOps, guys. Not only for DevOps, for any developer, for any tester, any DevOps engineer, this Linux is very important. So please concentrate. Today we are going to understand what is operating system, what is Windows operating system, what is Linux operating system, what Linux distributions are available in market, how to set up the environment, Linux environment. All those things we are going to discuss in today's session. Is these 3 points are clear? Operating system is mandatory to use any computer. Operating system is mandatory to use any computer. Operating system is mandatory to use any computer. As a user, if you want to access any hardware resource, operating system is required. As a user, if you wanted to access any hardware resource, operating system is mandatory. Hardware resources are nothing but what? RAM, CPU, mouse, hard disk, keyboard. All these things are the hardware resources. If you want to access any one of these hardware resources as a user, compulsory this operating system is mandatory. Without having this operating system, you can't able to access the hardware resources. Why we require hardware resources? If you want to create any application, if you want to work with any application, compulsory hardware resources are required. Simple example, right? We have calculator in our laptop, right? Without having calculator is nothing but what? One application. Calculator is nothing but one application, guys. If you want to work with that application, if you want access that calculator, compulsory operating system must be required in your laptop. Without having that operating system, you can't able to work with the calculator application. In our systems, we will get MS Paint, right? If you want to use, that is one application. MS Paint is one application. If you want to use that application, if you want to work with that application, compulsory operating system must be required in our system. Then only we can able to work with that application. Otherwise, we can't able to work. So, can I say like this, guys? Operating system provides infrastructure to run other applications in the computer. Right? It will provide the infrastructure to run the application in computer, guys. Operating system provides infrastructure to run other applications in the computer. Other applications are nothing but what? Calculator is one application. To run that calculator, we should have some infrastructure. We should have some environment. Who will provide that environment? Operating system will provide that environment. Right? MS Office is one application. To work with that MS Office, to run that MS Office in our computer, some environment must be required. Who will provide that environment? Operating system will provide. Right? If you want to run any application in the computer, some infrastructure must be required. Some environment must be required. That environment will be provided by operating system only. Is it clear, guys? Is this clear? I'm not getting any responses. Please respond in chat box. Good. So now see, guys, as a user wants to communicate with one application. User is trying to communicate with application. That application will communicate with operating system. That operating system will communicate with hardware devices, guys. User will communicate with the application. Application will communicate with the hardware system. Hardware system will application will communicate with operating system. Operating system will communicate with hardware resources. That is the process, guys. Right. So what is operating system is clear. Operating system is a software. We will use this operating system to communicate with the computer. Operating system is going to act as a mediator between user and computer hardware resources. Operating system is mandatory to use any computer. As a user, if you want access any hardware resource, operating system is mandatory. Operating system provides infrastructure to run other applications in the computer. Suppose if you take Apple phones, in Apple phones, what operating system we have? In Apple phone, what operating system we have? We have, right, iOS. iOS is the operating system. At the same time, if you go with other phones, we will get Android operating system, right? So if you go with any device, whether it is a computer or mobile phones or anything, some operating system is compulsory required. Operating system compulsory required, guys. Otherwise, we can't able to access those devices. Is it clear? Please have a look into this. We have so many operating systems are available in the market. Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Mac operating system. Like that, we have several operating systems are available. Based on our requirement, we need to choose the required operating system. Please go through these points once. Is this clear, guys? Can I go for next? What is operating system is clear? What is operating system is clear? Right. So now we have several operating systems are available in market. So in those operating systems, Windows is one operating system, Linux is one operating system, Linux is one operating system, Mac is one operating system, right? So like that, we have so many operating systems are available. Now, let me talk about Windows operating system. Windows operating system, right? So for our personal use, in our computers, in our laptops, which operating systems we will use? Windows operating system only, right? So now you guys are listening the class in your laptops. Which operating system you guys have? Windows operating system, right? I am giving the class, I am providing the class, I am teaching the class, right? I am using one laptop. In my laptop, which operating system I am using? Windows operating system only. For our personal usage, we will use Windows operating system. But in the in the companies, we won't use. For development purpose, we will use Windows operating system. For a development purpose, we can use Windows operating system. For a deployment purpose, right? To maintain the application for deployment purpose, this Windows operating system is not suitable. We need to go for Linux operating system there. Okay, guys, tell me who developed this Windows operating system? Who developed this Windows operating system? Windows operating system is developed by, guys, respond. Who developed this Windows operating system? Microsoft. Windows operating system is developed by Microsoft. And one more thing, right here, Windows operating system have some GUI, guys. Windows operating system have some GUI, graphical user interface. Through that GUI, we can work easily. Right, we can communicate easily to the computer. See, I have file manager. Right, see, I want to see here. I have C drive is available, D drive is available. So this is the GUI. This is the GUI, guys. Through this GUI, we are accessing the applications in our systems. right? So for Windows, these kind of GUI is available. Whenever we are working with Windows operating system, GUI is available. It is user friendly. Easily we can access the applications. Easily we can access the resources which we have in the system. But coming to Linux operating system, we don't have this kind of GUI. We don't have this kind of GUI in Linux operating system. In Windows operating system, in Windows operating system, in Windows operating system, we have GUI, graphical user interface. Yes, tell me, this Windows operating system is free or paid? Guys, tell me, Windows operating system. We are using Windows operating system, right? Is it freeware or paid version? Please respond, guys. Huh? Paid. Very good, guys. Microsoft, right? Most probably, Microsoft won't give anything for free, guys. Microsoft, if you go to MS Office, if you go to .NET, right, Microsoft won't give anything for free, right? We are using some crack versions. We are using in our laptops, we are using some crack versions, guys. But, right, it is a paid version. It is commercial. It is commercial, guys. Windows is paid version, not free, guys. Right, we need to pay some amount to Microsoft. In the companies, for using Windows operating system, they will make some payment to, they will say make some payment to Microsoft, guys. Right? So, and one more important one is Windows operating system is single user based operating system. This is very, very important point. Linux is multi-user based operating system, but coming to Windows is single user based operating system. Means what? At a time only one person can able to use that Windows operating system. See, guys, in my system I have one Windows operating system. In my laptop, right, Windows operating system I installed. Right. So simultaneously, right, my brother can able to use my system. Simultaneously, my brother also can able to use right, my Windows operating system which I installed in my laptop. No, guys. At a time, only one person can able to use it. At a time, only one person can able to use it, guys. Windows operating system is a single user based operating system. Single user based operating system means what? At a time only one person can access Windows operating system at a time. Only one person can access Windows operating system at a time. Right? And one more important thing is security point of view. Right? Security point of view, right? Windows have very less security. Windows have very less security. Windows have very less security, guys. Why, guys? Why Windows have very less security? Right. So because of this security issue, right, easily virus can attack, guys. Virus easily can attack. Right, because in Windows everything will be represented as a .bat files, .exe files. In our Windows operating system, suppose if you want to download, right, and install Java, right, how you guys will get Java? When you download it, in which format you will get the Java? In .exe format. Tomorrow we will install Git, guys. How you guys will get .exe format? See here, I will show. In Windows operating system, if you download any application, you will get in the form of .bat.exe. See, here Git is there. Git is what? .exe format. Right? .exe, guys. Right. So because of this, right, security is very less, guys. Because of this .exe, .bat, security is very less in the Windows operating system. Understood? If security is less, what it will happen? Virus can attack easily. Virus can attack easily, guys. Understood? And one more thing, right, this Windows is suitable, recommended only for personal usage. Right? Windows is recommended for personal usage only. Personal usage only. Please read these points, guys. Please read these points. Windows operating system. Windows operating system is developed by Microsoft. In Windows operating system, we have GUI, graphical user interface. Windows is paid version. Windows is recommended for personal use only. Windows operating system is a single user based operating system. Windows have very less security. Please read these steps, guys. Please read these steps. Right? So next one, Linux operating system. Linux operating system, guys. Guys, tell me, Linux operating system is free or commercial? It is free. It is free. Linux operating system is free. Free. Linux operating system is open source. Linux operating system is open source. What is open source, guys? After developing this Linux operating system, right, they put this code, guys, for developing Linux operating system. Whatever the code they have implemented, that code they uploaded in the internet, guys. They put in the internet. Anyone can download that code, and anyone can download and they can make the changes according to their requirement, guys. Understood what I am telling? Linux is operating system. Linux operating system is open source. Open source means what? For implementing Linux operating system, whatever the code they have written, that code is open to all. That code is available in the internet. Anyone can download that code and anyone can make the changes according to their requirement, and they can release with their names. And they can release with some other names, guys. After implementing Linux operating system is implemented by Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds is implemented Linux operating system. After implementing that Linux operating system, what Linus Torvalds did, he uploaded that code into the internet. Whenever he uploaded that code into the internet, that code is available to all. Anyone can download that Linux code, and they can make the changes into that code according to their requirement, and they can release with some other name. That's why Linux operating system is open source. Open source, guys. First one, it is free and it is open source. Okay. Next, right, Linux operating system, security wise, very high security, guys. Linux operating system have very high security. Yeah, I will connect, guys. Linux operating system have high security. Linux operating system have high security, guys. Windows operating system have very less security, but coming to Linux operating system, it has very high security, right? And Linux operating system, it is recommended for applications, servers, databases, etc. In the companies, guys, in application development, we will use Linux operating systems. For server setups, we will use Linux operating systems. For a database setup, we will use Linux operating systems. Right, Linux operating system is recommended is recommended for applications, servers, and databases. Application, servers, and databases. In the companies, for applications developments, we will use Linux operating system. Server setups, we will use this Linux operating system, and the database servers also, we will use this Linux operating system only. Right? So next one is, right, Linux operating system is multi-user based operating system. Right, Linux operating system is multi-user based operating system. At a time multiple people can able to use. At a time multiple people can able to use, guys. Right, Linux operating system is multi-user based operating system. Multi-user based operating system. Right, so Linux is, this is very very important, guys. Linux is community based operating system. Community based operating system. What is community based operating system, guys? It is not belongs to, see guys, if you go to Windows is belongs to what? Microsoft. Windows is belongs to Microsoft, guys. But coming to Linux, it is not belongs to any company. It is not belongs to any company. If it is not belongs to any company, how it came, guys? Some group of software experts, some group of software experts are formed together, and they are provided some support for this Linux operating system, guys. Some group of software experts are formed together, and they are providing some support for this Linux operating system. It is not belongs to any company. But Windows operating system is belongs to Microsoft, but Linux is not belongs to any company. Is it clear? Guys, give me 1 minute. I will take charger. 1 minute, guys. Yes, please go through these points once. Please go through these points once. Please have a look into these points. Linux operating system is free, and it is open source, and it has very high security, and it is recommended for applications development, servers, and databases. Right? It is multi-user based operating system. Coming to Windows operating system, it is developed by Microsoft. Windows operating system have GUI facility, right? And Windows operating system, right, is paid guys, not free, community, right? It is commercial, guys, right? Windows operating system is recommended for personal usage only. Windows operating system is a single user based operating system. Windows have very very less security. Okay, so next, guys, let me show one guy photo. Let me show one photo, guys. Here I will show one guy photo. Linus Torvalds. See, guys, Linus Torvalds. He's the guy. He's the guys. He's the guy. He's the guy who implemented a Linux operating system. Linus Torvalds. Have a look into this guy, Linus Torvalds. So he is the guy who implemented Linux operating system. Linus Torvalds, Linus Torvalds, Linus Torvalds. This guy only implemented our Linux operating system. Okay, guys, in 1991, at that time, he's a student, guys. In 1991, he's a student, right? He developed, right? So in 1991, he developed this Linux operating system, guys. Before developing Linux operating system, he is using Unix operating system. Before developing Linux operating system, this guy is using Unix operating system. At the time of using that Unix operating system, right, this guy faced some challenges, guys. This guys find out some issues in that Unix operating system. Right, what he did at the time, he connected with that person, guys, Unix team, whoever implemented that Unix operating system, right? He consulted with that team, guys, and he told, "Arey, in Unix operating system, I faced some challenges. There was some problems. I will give some suggestions to rectify those problems." He told like that to that Unix team, guys. What they did, guys? They refused, right, this Linux suggestions. They didn't accepted this Linux suggestions, right? So what they did, guys, he suggested, guys, whatever the problems he faced, he is ready to give the solution for those problems also, but they are not ready to take those suggestions. The Unix team, whoever implemented Unix operating system, they are not ready to take the Linux suggestions. Like that, they said, guys. Right? So at that time, Linus, why I need to give the suggestions to them? Right? So why can't I only developed my own operating system? Right? He decided like that, and he started implementing Linux operating system. Understood, guys? Why Linux operating system came into the picture? Before implementing Linux operating system, this guy is used Unix operating system. In that Unix operating system, this guy faced some problems, some challenges, and this guy consulted with the team who implemented Unix operating system. That team, this guy is consulted, and he told, "Arey, these many problems are there in your Unix operating system. I have solution to rectify those issues." Like that, he consulted, but they are not ready to take the Linux suggestions. And at that point of time, he got the idea, right? Why can't I release that one operating system? Why can't I release that one operating system? Like that, he started Linux operating system in 1991. Right? For developing Linux operating system, he used other operating system, guys. He used other operating system for developing this Linux operating. Which operating system he used? Minix operating system he used, guys. See, guys. Minix operating system he used to develop the Linux operating systems. Right. After developing one operating system, he needs to give the one name for that operating system. And he needs to give the one name for the operating system. At that time, what he did, right, from this guy name, what is this guy name? Linus. From this guy name, he took first two characters. First two characters this guy took from his name, and last three characters from the operating system. For developing Linux operating system, he used Minix operating system. He did the changes in the Minix operating system and he released it with a name Linux. How the name Linux came? Right, from his name, first two characters he took, and from the operating system, Minix is a operating system. From this, he took the last three characters. First two characters, last three characters equal to Linux. Linux, guys. How the name Linux came? From Linus name, he took first two characters, and for developing Linux operating system, he used Minix operating system. From that Minix operating system, he took last three characters. By combining all these characters, Linux name came into the market. How the name Linux came? Like this. Is it clear, guys? How the name Linux came? In 1991, Linus Torvalds developed this operating system. Right? So Linus Torvalds identified some challenges in the Unix operating system. Right? So they are ready, he ready to give the solution, he ready to give the suggestions to the Unix operating system team, but they are not ready to take. At that time, Linus only started implementing one operating system by using this Minix operating system. Once that operating system is ready, he has to give one name. How the name he given? From his name, first two characters he took, and from the operating system, right, he took last three characters. By combining all these three characters, Linux came, guys. Is it clear? Guys, please respond. Guys, is it clear? Good. So now Linus Torvalds released this Linux operating system with the source code into the market. They have given the source code also. He uploaded the source code into the internet. Right now, anyone can download. Anyone can download that source code, and they can make the changes according to their requirement. Now let me add some more points at here, guys. In 1991, Linus Torvalds had implemented this Linux operating system. Linux operating system. Right? So next step. Right. So here Linus Torvalds identified some issues, some problems in Unix operating system. Right. For developing Linux operating system, right, Linus used Minix operating system. Right? See how the name came, guys. How the name came? Like this, guys. Let's see here. First two characters from his name, and last three characters from operating system name. How the name Linux came? First two characters from his name, and the last three characters from operating system name. By combining all those characters, Linux came, guys. Right? So next up. Right. So he released Linux operating system, right, with the source code into the market, guys. he released the Linux operating system with source code into the market. Guys, clear all these points? All these points are clear? Right. Good. So now observe carefully, guys. Whenever he released with the source code into the market, whenever he released a Linux operating system with the source code into the market, so now so many people are came, guys. So many people are came and downloaded this code and they make it changes in that code and they have released it with some other different names, guys. In Windows we have different versions are available. Windows 7 version is available, Windows 8 is available, Windows 10 is available, Windows 11 is available. Like that, so many versions are available in Windows operating system. But coming to Linux operating system, we don't have any versions like that. We don't have any versions like Windows. But what we have in Linux we have distributions. In Linux we have distributions, not versions. What distributions are available? What is the distribution? What is distribution, guys? So many people and so many companies taken that Linux operating system code and modified according to their requirement, and they released it into the market with different names. Those are called as the Linux distributions. Those are not versions, guys. Those are not versions like Windows. Those are the distributions. Right? What distributions are available? Red Hat is available. Red Hat Linux is available. Right? CentOS is available. CentOS is available. Fedora is available. Fedora is available. Ubuntu is available. Ubuntu OS is available. Next here, right, Amazon Linux is available. Next, OpenSUSE is available. Next, Debian is available. Next, Kali Linux is available, right, etc. So like this, several distributions are came into the market. All these are not versions, guys. Right? All these are not versions. Linux is uploaded. Linux is released Linux operating system with the source. So at that point of time, so many companies are came and they downloaded the Linux source code and they modified that code according to their requirement, and they have given these different names. Initially, we don't have all these things. Initially, like Linux implemented Linux operating system only we have. Right. So after that, so many companies are downloaded and they make some changes, and they have given one company is given name as Red Hat, some other company give the name as CentOS, some other company give the name as Fedora, some other company give the name as Ubuntu OS, Amazon Linux, OpenSUSE, Debian, Kali Linux, etc. Right. All these are the distributions. Linux operating system distributions. Is it clear, guys? These are not versions, guys. If you go to Windows, there we have different versions are available. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 12, like that different versions are available. Right? But coming to Linux, we don't have such kind of versions. Here what we have? Here we have distributions. Okay, what is the distribution? Clear? Clear, guys? Good. So next, guys, in application infrastructure setup also, in the companies, if you want to run any application, some infrastructure must be required. In companies, if you want to run any application, some infrastructure must be required. See what infrastructure is required. I want Jenkins, right? I want Jenkins software, right? I want Sonar Cube is required. Nexus is required, right? Tomcat is required. Tomcat is required. Ansible is required. Terraform is required. Terraform is required. Docker is required. Kubernetes is required. Kubernetes is required. With all these softwares, one infrastructure must be required in application development, guys. If you want to run any application, one infrastructure must be required with all these softwares. What we require, guys? One infrastructure must be required with all these softwares to run the applications in the companies. Okay, guys, all these softwares we are going to use for application development and application execution purpose. So if you want executing applications, see guys, right, what developers will do after developing the code, they will upload that code into the GitHub repository. After that, Jenkins is required to deploy the application into the servers. By using Jenkins, what we are doing? We are deploying the application. Right? By using Sonar, what we are doing? We are doing the code review. By using Terraform, what we are doing? We are doing the infrastructure setup. By using Ansible, what we are doing? We are doing the configuration management. Right? So if you want to perform all those things, these softwares are mandatory. So that's why compulsory we require all these softwares. Guys, now tell me, where we will install all these softwares, guys? Where we will install all these softwares? In our Windows operating system? No. In our Windows operating system, we can do the development. We can do the up to development we can do in Windows operating system. But coming to infrastructure setup, we required a Linux operating system. First, we need to take some Linux operating system. In that Linux operating system, we need to install all these softwares. We need to install all these softwares. See guys, in AWS, I have created one instance. This is my Linux mission. Right, this is my Linux mission. For that mission, I have given the name as controller. Like this, we need to create one Linux mission in AWS. In cloud, we need to create one Linux mission. In this Linux mission, we need to install all the softwares. Here, whatever the softwares I have noted, all these softwares we need to install in this controller Linux mission. In this controller Linux mission, not in our Windows operating system. So this laptop having Windows, I am not going to install all those things in Windows. What I am doing in AWS, I have created one Linux mission. In that Linux mission, I am going to install all these softwares. Understood, guys? To set up this infrastructure, we are going to use Linux missions in the company. Is that clear, guys? Is this clear? Please respond, guys. Very good. Right, in companies, we will use Linux only. Right, where we will create those Linux machines nowadays. If I want, I can able to install that Linux machine in my laptop. Right, I have Windows operating system. On top of that, I can able to install Linux operating system by using hypervisor software. What is hypervisor? Right, so how to create dual machines, all those things I will explain. I will explain later, guys. But if you do like that, what it will happen? Your system performance will get slow, guys. Right, your system performance will go slow down. Right, that's why I am not installing Linux in my Windows operating system. What I am doing here, I am taking one Linux mission in AWS. There I am going to perform all these operations. Whatever the Linux commands we are going to practice, all those commands we will do in Linux mission only. Where I will create Linux mission? I will create Linux mission in AWS. AWS I will create Linux mission. Okay, how to connect with that Linux mission? Right, which client application we need to use to connect with that Linux mission? All those things we will discuss, guys. Okay, up to here clear? Up to here clear? Good. So what we discussed in today's session, what is operating system? Right, what is Windows operating system, what is the Linux operating system, what Linux operating system distributions are available, right, infrastructure, application infrastructure, right? So all these things we discussed. Okay guys, yes, today and tomorrow some other new people are came, right? Just I want to give the demo for them, that's why I have set up demo from 8:30 onwards. Today and tomorrow I will give, from day after tomorrow onwards I will add those people also into our batch, and I will take 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour session guys. Okay, today 8:30, today and tomorrow some demos I can arrange for those people, and only these 2 days guys. After that I will combine those people also in our team, and I will take the session 1.5 hour from next 2 days, after next 2 days guys. Okay, okay guys, is it clear, right? Up to now what we discussed clear? Okay, so we will continue tomorrow. Thank you guys, I'm stopping here, we will continue tomorrow. Thank you. Tomorrow we will see the installation and everything. Okay, thank you guys. Yes, I will share guys, you guys will get recordings.
Recording.